B-A-U-T-I-F-U-L is me. B-A-U-T-I-F-U-L is me. Thank Jah that I have my beauty. Now I gotta shine it for the whole world to see. I am B-A-U-T-I-F-U-L.
A pleasant and productive afternoon to you, Barbados. Whoever in Barbados is watching me, and not in the whole country, but still. And places otherwise where people care about what's going on in Barbados or just like to hear me run my mouth. What's going on? Now, usually I say no disclaimers, but I can make a claim and you could diss it if you want. If you have decided to watch this blog and you have never watched my blogs before, there may be a great possibility that you decided to watch this blog because you have friends or family or are personally in the Banks Girl competition for the calendar this year. Or you may just be like me and want to hear what somebody else really think about who it is that really into this. Now, let me say this first, right? If you get offended by anything that I have to say and you are in the Banks Girl competition, then perhaps you should drop out. If you get offended at anything that I have to say and something that I have to say give you a little stabbing feeling in your heart, then maybe I might mean you, right? But I want you to remember saying, I don't know nobody in the Banks competition really, and definitely even the people that I do know of, I can't say that I know their personal life or their goals or whatever necessarily. And secondly, I a little bit biased because I don't believe in competitions really. I'm not a fan of pageants, but I mean I said so when I did the blog about Big and Beautiful pageant, and when the organizers came and told me thanks, so I don't see that I can't have a fair opinion, even though I believe that being in a competition like that would never be something for me or something that I would necessarily want my daughter to do. I know people who have done it and that I respect, and I'm sure that people have their different reasons for doing things. But of course, you know, if you make it and you win, then you have to go up in a rum shop for a lot of drunken men to be turning the head upside down and looking up, trying to see your private parts and all but the nonsense, or doing like how it is in my father bar. Got Saskia up on a piece of plywood. Lord, she ain't coming down. She was from 2007, but it must be still 2007 because certain Banks girls picture don't move. Anyhow, let me talk about this thing. First, I saw this Banks ad. A girl had posted my brown thing, and it had a woman, sexy looking woman with legs and breasts. You couldn't see any face, and the Banks bottle. The whole ad kind of upset me because the brown thing concept comes from a prejudice concept that we have in Barbados, which says brown skin is good, red skin is better, dark skin is unacceptable, and comes from what makes us say things like she dark and pretty, or she dark but she's sweet, with that but, as though being dark might be, she has the disadvantage of being dark but she is still good looking. That's what it really means, a nice darkie. The whole concept of these things don't come from us viewing ourselves as one people. It comes from us breaking down each other into categories. And I mean, I do it too because I've grown up in it, you know, but I try to catch myself because I mean, like, it's be a real thing, like my red friend, my this, my that. It would be alright if it was just meant to describe a person, because some people are lighter than others and whatnot, but it has become a privilege, as we know, because we know our roots, to be red skinned in this society. I have a daughter, she's red skinned. There are people who are really excited about that. You understand? Where does this thing come from? We need to get out of it, dude. Anyhow, so I gone on the Banks thing because I see people got Twitter. I don't check my Twitter all the time because I use it on my computer, not on my phone. I don't believe in this fast world where you have that, well, not where you use things like email and Twitter and stuff from your phone. When I say I don't believe in it, I don't mean that I don't think it exists. I know it exists, but it's not something I include in my life because people get this attitude like, if I text you or I tweet at you or something 5 minutes ago and you ain't answer, you're ignoring me. Whereas I live in the real world where people have lives, and cyberspace isn't something you can step into all the time, all day long. If you send me an email, especially a business email, wait 24 hours for a response. Anyhow, so I see the hat with a hot with this thing. Now let me tell you something. You know the God song? You say you're young girlie, show me where you're young. They say you're young girlie, show me where you're young. Cause you're old in your waist and you're hard in your face. Show me where you're young. You're old in your face and you're hard in your waist. Show me where you're young. Or saying so, right? I used to love folk songs real bad when I was small. Real bad. Anyhow, show me where someone wanna young though. Cause wanna old and wanna waist and hard and wanna face. Or old and wanna face and hard and wanna waist. Now they got some people that entered of recent that looking nice. But my first thing to you when you enter this competition, now listen to me. My husband trained the last Banks girl. I am not here bashing Banks girls. And I know that people just get trainers. So for the big and fat one that I see, they got a couple of them that, to me, but until Banks coming inside a 2-liter bottle, them should stop out. But that's just my opinion. I know that they could train and get small. Not that the girl that trained last year was ever big, as far as I know. But I know you can train and stuff like that, right? But let me speak and be real here. Let's be real. It is this Banks girl competition got me feel the same way how I feel when I see people with red eyeliner around their eye or a red thing. You would never see Beyonce nor Rihanna unless I'm playing a vampire or something so with this thing. Natural colors for lips. Red is a natural color for lips. And blue is a natural color for eyes. Because there's people in the world that have blue eyes. Even black people. And there's people in the world that have red lips. Sometimes we go and we try to think outside the box and goblin. We jump in the wharf instead of the sea. It's be an accident. It's be close call but it don't make it, right? Now, if you know that you need to lose 20 and 30 pounds to be your ideal weight for your height based on medical on the medical chart that you see in like the doctor's office, that chart that will tell you that if you're 5'6" and you weigh 200 pounds, you're obese, then perhaps you might be too big for a Banks girl competition. Now they can't tell you so, right? But you need to be able to tell yourself so, even if you're happy with your size. I mean, you need to be able to go and look at all the Banks posters that you see every year coming out and decide, well, hey, do I have anything in common with any of the past Banks girls? Namely, looks, shape, anything so? I really don't understand it though. If you know that in general in your life, people don't talk about your looks a lot. Like, no one really thinks about your looks. No one really thinks you're beautiful in general. You know, I'm not saying if you post a picture on Facebook and somebody like it. Let's say if you post a picture of your face on Facebook and you are fully clothed in the picture, does anybody like it? You know what I'm trying to say? Next thing that I'm trying to tell one, right, is you're going to put yourself in a competition, and it has me feel that if you're looking for validation from the wrong place, because when you go and put yourself in something, when the truth is you don't really have a chance of winning based on what we usually see in the competition, what the winners usually look like, and the fact that you don't look like anything like that. Maybe you're plain looking, maybe nothing wrong with loving yourself, but you have to be honest. I know that if I don't want to enter Banks girl and I wear too old and too different minded to ever want to do this, but I know that if I don't want to do it, the best thing for me to do first would be to lose 30 pounds and then see how I look. And even if I want to put it back on in muscle or something, see what's going on, or I might want some implants or something, so, and I'm happy with myself, but I ain't gonna go enter a competition that don't suit me to make myself shame. Let us be real. Now I know people will want to get offended and blah 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 blah. Oh, because you're looking for validation and I'm not giving you it. If you really love yourself and you know you do not match your criteria, why have you entered? It's not all about posing sexy all the time. Oh, you entered for the opportunities. You really think you can win? Like, seriously, when these girls enter these pageants and these competitions and things, some of them, when they see us, be like, you really think that you can win? But I realize that people so believe in the power of makeup and weave nowadays that people don't think that looks is a required foundation. Looks is a required foundation here. If you're average looking on a daily basis, yes, somebody can do something with you and trick people with lighting and things like that, right? But how are you going to compete against somebody who's not average on a daily basis when that person gets the same enhancements as you do? Isn't that person going to top you 100%? Why do we put ourselves in these situations, looking for society to tell us that we are pretty, or looking for men that we don't know to tell us that we are sexy women? Why do we do this to ourselves? Huh? It's been real sickening to see how people just operate. Let me show you something. If you want to enter Banks competition and you want to be a serious contender, right? Do me a favor and go outside of your house to take your pictures. Do not take your picture inside your house unless you live in a mansion with many picturesque settings which have been put in place by professional interior decorators and exterior decorators and landscapers. Okay? Because it would be better to go and stand in front of paling in a swimsuit and get an artistic shot done than it is to be standing up with you 2 foot if you're trying to hold in stool and you inside a bath suit in front of TV or outside by a clothesline, you are not coming to the competition professionally minded at all. Why should the competition care something about you? It's almost as though there need to be judges to decide if you can enter or not, because some people enter to give people jokes. And imagine that you enter something so that you can be recognized for your beauty and instead you're made a laughing stock of. Come on, man. Everybody can get a digital camera nowadays. Who don't have one can borrow one. I'm not telling you to go and spend a whole bunch of money on pictures, but let me tell you something. 30 pictures from an amateur, but go outside. Go, and I don't mean necessarily on the beach, because if your faces get greasy fast and you don't have no makeup artist or whatever, that might not be the best place for you. But go and look online for a little makeup tutorial. Wash your face, put on a little foundation, a little powder, and a lip gloss or something, right? And go and take some face shots and some body shots outside of your home and not by the clothesline or by the washing machine or by an old whatever that have outside, unless of course it is a real dump outside, because if it's a real dump, then that could be an artistic sort of shot or something, right? Take it in black and white and see what happens, right? But seriously, don't enter these competitions looking like a joke and expect people to take one seriously. You understand? Even ugly people, they got ugly models in the world, right? If you come in professionally, right? If your hair is on point, your makeup is on point, whatever the case may be, somebody that got a little more thing than me might call you unique instead of ugly, and you might get somewhere. God bless you, be ugly as shite, but you will still get somewhere, right? But if you can enter the competition, right? Now, I don't follow society standards, but we all know society standards. Fat is not a cool thing in society unless you're entering a pageant for plus size people. Dark does get treated real bad. I have seen dark Banks girls though, right? I have seen dark Banks girls. I mean, you have to look at yourself realistically speaking. Have you ever entered anything like this before? Have you done well in it? Sometimes it doesn't have nothing to do with you. Sometimes you might look awesome, but the judges done got their favorite put down, because this is Barbados and who you know goes a long way here, right? You have to look at these things seriously and decide, is this something that I want to put myself in for real? No, I ain't got no much more to say about it, right? Because I am trying to hurt nobody feelings nor nothing. So, and whoever I hurt that's gone on the red thing, what you could use it for instead of putting it on your eye is put a little bit of a blush. Cause I see people nowadays with this blush thing, like we in Barbados, we're dark skin, but yet we doing blush. You know what blush was for? To make white people cheeks get color, to make white people look, because white people's look rosy when they get a little color in the cheeks. We don't need no color in we cheeks. What the friggin' color we cheeks is if you black, huh? What color with the cheeks what, huh? Sometimes when it make me feel that if I only see drowning or something, I can't breathe at all.
right? But if you must use the red, I would use it for blush or as a transition color. I wouldn't start off with a big set of red over my eye. Got me little if I got red eyes, but on the outside of my eye, or none of the things that I see women doing nowadays. And speaking of that, before I go, let me talk about one other thing that I see people doing. I went inside a Diamond Girl and I go to different places and I see these things. What is this thing about your hairline? Start here and then you glue a weave directly across your hairline. Who man it is that think that that's sexy? That look good? That look unnatural and that look stink. You know, it's a real funny thing. We sit down and we read history. We hear about when sugar wasn't popular and people used to import sugar and it was a delicacy and blah blah blah. All these different things we read about when we read history. You know what people are gonna write and say about us? That we used to import hair from India and stick it all across our head with harmful substances, right? And make ourselves look like two Johnnies and a jackass, right? Because we didn't even do it good. Because we was mocking celebrities who had specialists and experts, but we was doing it home in we yard next to the clothesline. If you enter Banks competition, right, or any other competition in this life as a woman, and it is a beauty competition, make sure you're beautiful first. And the next thing I would like to say, beautiful on the inside usually does reflect onto the outside, but it does not mean that you will be suitable for the people competition. So don't put yourself in a position where you go into a competition, get this, and then you go home crying in the bed that you ain't win and you ain't saying nothing. It don't work. So come on. If you have a good chance of winning something and you can see it helping your personal development, by all means go along and enter. But when you look stink and you want to put yourself in a position for somebody to tell you so, don't get vexed when the person tell you the truth. Because it seemed to me that some of one of that entered this Banks competition need a reality check. One love.